Hello fellas, I want to show you a game between Michael Tal and Petrosian. Knight f3, g6. Black move g6 to make bishop g7. e4, bishop g7, d4, d3, and knight c3. So I love how the pawns are in the best position and knight are the best position, but I think white should now focus to make the rooks more space to move and the bishops out to attack the king and queen sides and to really put pressures on the pawns that are defending the king and queen. But it's black move, knight c3, bishop e2, castle, and then knight c6. Why did knight move knight c6 if pawn could move d5? So the knight moved b8 and then rook e1 so when the bishop moves away, the pawn could move up, and then the rook could get into the black side and be very active. So black moved e4, thought this will defend, but they didn't see the d5, and then en passant, bishop e6, capturing the pawn, and when the pawn pushes up, it cannot push up anymore. And then bishop f4, h6, knight d4, and then bishop d7. So here, queen moved d2, planning to move rook d1 and making his pieces really strong. So here, king h7, which was a bad move. He's supposed to move g5 if the pawn moves, because if g5, bishop g5, and then pawn will eat the bishop, and then the queen will go in. It still has a strong attack, yes, and then the knight can move to protect the bishop from being checkmate. And if the knight moves here, bishop can eat it. If the knight moves here, pawn can eat it, and the game's going to be longer than usual. So black's supposed to move there, but he didn't. And, oh, sorry, my bad. And then he moved king h7, and then white moved e5. So for now, both players are doing good, but you'll see somewhere near the end, Michael Tal will get the advantage, and the position will go better for white and better and better and better. So e5, just the starting of getting the white position better, better, and better, and then take on e5. So this was a bad move because if bishop eat it, the best move. This was a good move, but if the bishop will eat it, Petrosian said he wanted to move knight c6, but didn't do it. So if knight c6, knight eats knight, bishop eats knight, and then queen eats queen, rook eats rook, and then, rook eats queen, and then bishop eats the pawn. Yes, it's true that black is down a pawn, and then rook d2, making it really active, and then the knight could come down and the rook could go attack with the move. But since he didn't move there, it wasn't a good move for black. So this position with white have a queen and a knight. Here, knight moved e4. He thought the knight could eat it, and then the bishop eats the bishop, and then if the knight moved away, he could eat the pawn and gain advantage and gain kind of like an extra pawn, but then the rook would move b1 and then attacking on its pawn. So that's a bad move. So knight ate the knight as the game goes on, and then the bishop eats the bishop. And then here, knight played f3. And then bishop pulled back, and then rook d1. And then black played bishop e1, really protecting these squares. And then it's time to strike. I'll give you a few seconds, pause the video, and try to answer the move. I'll give you a few seconds. All right, so the ones who made it, congratulations. The move was knight e, g5, and pawn eat it. Pawn eats the knight, and then the knight eats the pawn, and then the king moves to g8, and sometimes simple threat makes the move. So queen f4, and then they thought knight d2 will make the attack, because if it moved queen h4, it could move knight f6 and blocking all checkmate attacks. And then knight d2 blocking all checkmate attacks. He hoped so, Peterson, but rook d7, a cruncher. And then if the queen eats the rook, then the queen will move h4 and no way to defend this. So eating with the bishop is smart, because if queen h4, the rook can move d8, and then the queen move h8. And I mean queen h7, and the king f8, and f8, and then queen h8 checkmate. But black saw a better reason. He took the bishop. And here, Peterson resigned, because he saw that anywhere he moved, if the king moved h8, queen h4, if the rook moved the bishop, if the rook ate the bishop, the queen will eat the rook, and then the king h8 and queen g6. So if bishop f4, knight f7, if queen g8, queen h5, and black has no ways to defend this. This was a really great game, one of the famous game ever. Bye-bye, fellows. Please subscribe to this video and press the like button.